Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here for WLBT Plus. My name is Cara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host, here to bring you some of the latest headlines from the Jackson and surrounding areas. We do have some breaking news situation that has just happened within the past couple of hours here in Jackson, as well as an update on the Goon Squad and the messages, the WhatsApp messages that were revealed, as well as a federal lawsuit that is now open against one of the Goon Squad members. And we have a lot more for you. So got a lot to get to today, a lot of the news, a lot of stories going on. I appreciate you guys that are jumping on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me here. Or if you're on our YouTube page, don't forget that you can always watch WLBT Plus as well as any of our other newscasts on our app. And that is the WLBT news app. You can watch our newscast. You can watch LBT Plus. You can do all of that on demand, or you can stream it as it is happening. But again, like I always say, as far as like what we're doing on social media, this is a chance for you guys to respond, to ask questions, to comment, or anything like that during the newscast. Someone actually referred to it as a uh, interactive newscast, and I really like that because it's a time for that we get to interact with you guys in real time as we're putting the news out there for you. So before we jump into the news, because there is a lot, we're going to take a look outside right now. Going to look over Natchez and the beautiful Mississippi River. And it does look gorgeous out there today. We got sun shining, but I know we do have some clouds and rain on the way, at least later on today. Peyton Garrison will be in later to talk to us about that and give us all the details on our forecast. So, the first bit of news that I'm going to jump into with you guys is telling you about the shooting that happened just a couple of hours ago here in Jackson, and it happened at 435 North Flag Chapel Road. So police responded to the shooting over there. And let me take you to the scene right here so you can see it, or at least where it is on the map. So right here is the actual location that this shooting occurred. And I'm going to go down to a street level for you guys to be able to see the area. So this is 435 North Flag Chapel Road. That is where the shooting happened. And let me come back out and give you guys a little better look so you can see where it is in relation to downtown Jackson. So this is the northwest area of Jackson. But let me move, and we got downtown Jackson right here. It is on the right side of your screen, and the shooting that happened is at the top left. So again, that's a North 45. I'm sorry, 435 North Flag Chapel Road. So, two individuals were shot. Currently, their conditions are unknown. Um, the officers on the scene did tell us that they believe that the shootings, the conditions are not life threatening, or the shooting was not life threatening. They're saying that what happened, it was an altercation between multiple people, and it ended up turning into a drive-by shooting. So, according to the officers that were on the scene there, no suspects right now that we know of. But of course, we will continue to follow this to try to get updates on it. And we will then let you know about those when they come through. As a matter of fact, if you download the WLBT News app, you can get all of the updates as soon as we get them in here, because we will send them out through a notification through our app. So, a former Mississippi teacher has been sentenced to nearly 2 centuries behind bars. That's 200 years behind bars. So his name is Toshimi Wilson, and he taught at Amory High School in Amory, Mississippi. Let me get him on the screen here so you can see what he looks like. He was convicted on 8 counts of sexual exploitation of a child back in December. So Wilson worked for the Amory School District, and when he worked there, he used his position as a teacher and an advisor of the Technology Students of America to groom students. This is a such a disturbing and horrible thing that happened. So between 2005 and 2014, he had students produce explicit videos and pictures in exchange for money and drugs. Well, this week, a federal judge in Greenville ordered Wilson to serve 192 years in prison and pay more than $120,000 in restitution to the victims. As they say, that it was at least 11 students that reported abuse to investigators at the FBI and the Mississippi Attorney General's office. 8 of those students testified during his trial. So only $120,000. Now, I mean, the judge can make whatever decision they want to make. At least he got 192 years in prison. But honestly, in situations like this, there's not going to be any kind of amount of money that would help these victims to quote unquote get over this happening. And those are my words there. It's not going to help them to get over it. This is something that is going to or could affect these kids for a lifetime. And it's very, very disturbing and disgusting that a teacher for so many years, 2005 to 2014, did all this. And I'm glad that he is in prison, but we shouldn't have to worry about this with our teachers, right? We shouldn't have to worry about this. But his name again is Toshimi Wilson. He is in prison for at least the next 192 years, should he make it that long, but I do not believe that he will. So this is essentially a life sentence in prison, and he was ordered to pay more than $120,000 in restitution to the victims. So again, he used his position as a teacher and advisor of the Technology Students of America to groom students and get them to do explicit videos and pictures in exchange for money and drugs. So he's in the right place right now. Let's just put it that way. So there was a armed carjacking that happened in Jackson. We told you about it. Happened on we first told you about it yesterday, and it happened in the driveway of a home in West Jackson. So police say that one of the suspects was actually taken to the Copiah County Sheriff's Office to turn himself in by his parents. I applaud the parents for that. He's a 14-year-old juvenile, and his parents took him to the sheriff's department to turn himself in after seeing the Ring doorbell footage on the news. So around 11 o'clock last night, the JPD action team and a homicide/robbery detective drove over to Copiah County to take the 14-year-old juvenile into custody and bring him back to the Jackson Police Headquarters. Again, said he was taken to the Copiah County Sheriff's Department by his parents to turn himself in after they saw the video, which I'm going to play the video for you here in just a moment. How he was arrested and charged with armed carjacking and 6 counts of aggravated assault. We don't know his name at the time at this time because he is a juvenile. The other suspects are still on the run. And of course, police are saying if you have any information relating to this case to please call Crime Stoppers or Jackson Police. So I'm going to now play the ring cam footage for you. And I do want to warn you guys, it's hard to watch. Just to if you think of yourself being in that position, it is hard to watch. So here, we're going to play it for you now. That as a parent, as a mother watching that, it does bring tears to my eyes, seeing those babies, those children. I have to experience that. So in the video, what you can see is a shirtless man walking up on the family, firing gunshots. The family, you could hear them screaming and see them running for safety. So the suspects demanded the keys to the vehicle and yanked one of the children out of the car. Heather Allen, who was the mother here, says that her daughter and other family members were preparing to travel to Batesville to visit family for the weekend. And she says her family recently moved from Batesville here to Jackson. They've only lived at that West Jackson location for just about 3 months.
Just because of what happened to my family. And and we have to get out of here. I mean, I'm working, but financially I'm not able to get us out of here. But I have a GoFundMe set up.
So here again is the footage of some of the suspects, and you can see them on your screen here. Oh, it's just terrifying. It breaks my heart for the kids. It breaks my heart for the family and for the mother. I couldn't imagine being in that situation as a mom. So, one of the suspects is in custody. Again, we told you he's 14-year-old juvenile. His parents turned him in to the Copiah County Sheriff's Department after seeing this Ring doorbell footage. And the other suspects are still on the run. If you have any information on this crime, please contact JPD or Crime Stoppers. And of course, as we find out more information about the juvenile who is in custody, he was going. We know that he was charged with armed carjacking and 6 counts of aggravated assault. But once we receive additional information on that, we will be sure to pass that along to you. And of course, that family's thoughts, our family is in our thoughts and prayers, my thoughts and prayers, because it breaks my heart as a mother to see those babies getting pulled out of the vehicle like that. So, a former Rankin County tax collector has pled guilty to an embezzlement. Her name is Brittany Phillips, and she was the clerk or former clerk at the Rankin County tax collector's office. She was arrested back in November of 2023, and she's guilty of embezzling cash from the Rankin County Tax Collector's Office by not registering car tags and taking the cash payments. Now, she was served with a $36,583.47 demand at the time of her arrest. So, State Auditor Shad White said that he was grateful for the work of the Rankin County tax collector for turning this case over. The investigators, the prosecutors who worked together to bring this case to a close. He went on to say, by working together, with other offices, and my team has recovered more money for the taxpayers in the last 5 years than any other 5-year period. So she was prosecuted by the Rankin County District Attorney's Office. She was sentenced to 10 years, 6 of those years suspended, 4 years to serve, and 5 years on supervised probation. And now there was a 50,000 surety bond covered Phillips' employment at the Rankin County Tax Collector's Office. So the surety bonds, what those are, is basically like a insurance plan, if you will, to help protect taxpayers against people like this who would steal money from them, embezzle money from the county and the state, so that that money is not completely lost. It's not completely gone. The surety bond will cover that and put that money back in Rankin County's property. So that was a lot. I've got a lot of stuff that has happened this morning and over the past 24 hours, just the past actually week here in Jackson. We are still working to get updates on several other stories. You know, we told you about the shootings that happened over in Canton earlier this week. And even though it was a holiday weekend, that did not stop anybody. The criminals did not take a holiday from crime, that's for sure. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Then we have Peyton Garrison come in to do a quick look at our forecast. And then when we come back, we're going to give you the update on the Goon Squad, the sheriff's office reaction, the complete statement that they released. And we're also going to give you the information on the new federal case that has been filed against one of the Goon Squad members. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that information.
Thank you. WLBT is on your side.
And if it wasn't for you, we still wouldn't have moved.
Breaking the most important stories.
The court declares a mistrial in the matter of the state of Mississippi versus William Ervin Edwards.
The police, they screwed up the investigation because they really didn't investigate.
Breaking news that impacts you.
Where is it going to stop? Where is it going to stop?
We are WLBT, 3 on your side. Mississippi's breaking news leader. First alert weather coverage means that we alert you at the first sign of dangerous weather, with more weather forecasters than any other station, more weather tools than any other station, and the only station in the country with mobile weather radar technology that allows us to catch weather threats that the National Weather Service radar can't reach. Sunrise to sunset, 7 days a week. We are WLBT, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted First Alert weather team. The WLBT First Alert Storm Tracker is your live look at weather conditions from a ground level view, first alerting you of severe weather like no one else, and covering weather threats from every angle.
Let's go street level down, pretty close to where the circulation is. We'll get right in front of it.
Informing you first with minute-by-minute updates. We are your WLBT First Alert weather team, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather. Sponsored by Environment Masters. Watch WLBT live and on demand with the WLBT News Channel, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and YouTube TV. Download the WLBT News Channel and watch Mississippi's most trusted station for news and weather. WLBT is Mississippi's breaking news leader.
I watch WLBT every morning. I really trust WLBT to give me what I need to know.
WLBT has really been part of my family.
You can always turn it on to watch the news and the weather.
They keep me abreast of everything that's happening in my community.
They're an honest news network.
Maggie Wade. Maggie Wade is my favorite anchor.
Carmen Poe, she's very funny. I like her jokes.
Watch WLBT. Thank you.
And we are back. I am back. We have Peyton Garrison that's going to come in here in just a second to give us a look at our forecast. But first, I'm going to tell you about a new guy who has thrown his name in the hat for the Jackson mayor, or the role of Jackson mayor. So let me get him pulled up here on my screen for you and introduce you to him. So his name is Tim Henderson, and he is a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel. He says that he has the skills needed to address Jackson's challenges. So he joins what is already a very growing field of local conservative that includes a local conservative radio host, a revenue analyst for the Mississippi Department of Revenue, and he is the former mayor of Edwards, Mississippi. And of course, I'm sorry, no, he isn't. The former mayor of Edwards is in the running too, and the current Jackson mayor. So we're going to have more coverage on this later in our newscast. We've got Peyton Garrison coming in now to give us a look at our forecast and see what we have going on out there. So hold on one second. We're having a little technical difficulties. I'm going to take that commercial break and I'll be right back.
WLBT is on your side,
And if it wasn't for you, we still wouldn't have knew.
breaking the most important stories.
The court declares a mistrial in the matter of the state of Mississippi versus William Irvin Edwards.
The police, they screwed up the investigation because they really didn't investigate.
Breaking news that impacts you.
Swear the club up don't stop. Swear if it don't stop.
We are WLBT, 3 on your side. Mississippi's breaking news leader. WLBT is Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather.
And here we go. We have Peyton Garrison here with us to give us a look at our forecast. Yesterday, it was a beautiful day, and then we had a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
Especially, it was some really strong winds where I live on the north side of the res. But then there was a beautiful sunset afterwards. Are we looking at that same kind of thing today?
You know, I think we're going to see much drier conditions to end off this evening compared to what we saw yesterday evening. Now, this morning it was pretty wet, even stormy outside. All of that has fortunately has come to an end. There may be a few additional showers between now and this evening, but I really don't expect to see too much shower and storm activity for the rest of the day today. But unfortunately, that will be changing come tomorrow and even this upcoming weekend.
So more rain
Yes.
on the way, more humidity. Yay. Fun.
Yes. Yeah. We're just, again, in this unsettled, active weather pattern where we're just going to have these small disturbances moving overhead. That's going to trigger showers and storms. And our next one is on the way for tomorrow. And this one might be a more organized and slightly stronger system. It could bring us an isolated risk for a few strong to severe thunderstorms. Wind and hail would be the primary concerns if we were to see any. But I would not completely rule out a brief tornado Friday into Friday night. Some marginal, even slight risk now for a few strong storms. That slight risk has just been added for areas out towards the South Delta. That's level 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. So not only will we be watching out for the chance of some stronger storms tomorrow, but maybe even Saturday as well. We also have a marginal risk in places for much of the area heading into the weekend.
You know, if you ever have to move, in which this weekend my family is completely moving out of our house in Lauderdale County and completely moving over here, you can almost guarantee that whatever day you pick, it is going to rain.
Yes. Fortunately, you know, it's not going to rain across the entire area all at the same time. It's just going to be those off and on showers. So, you know, this weekend, I would, you know, account for the chance of rain, you know, have a plan B where you're able to bring those outdoor plans inside if you need to quickly. But hopefully it's no, you know, it's not going to be an all weekend washout, but, you know, off and on showers and storms. Definitely possible.
So what are our temperatures looking like for the weekend?
Temperatures 80s, not too terribly bad. Just with the chance of some rain around, we're looking at middle 80s Saturday and Sunday. This time next week, I think we do get a little bit warmer, probably upper 80s, low 90s, which is starting to rise yet again above average for this time of year. So some hotter weather's on the way, and that's when the chance of rain may slightly come down. So this weekend, higher rain chances, lower temperatures, and then eventually we'll almost do a reverse by the end of next week.
So this weekend actually on Saturday begins hurricane season, right?
Yes, it does. June 1st, Saturday, and it lasts all the way through November 30th. So we've got a long ways to go.
We do have a long ways to go with that. Now, you know, I say that because WLBT, as well as the other gray stations here in the state of Mississippi, got together and there's a special on being prepared for hurricanes. It's never too early to prepare.
Never too early. You know, we can see tropical activity, which we haven't, thankfully, before the first day of hurricane season. And we do expect a well above average hurricane season. So, you know, it's not going to be before long before we see activity. Fingers crossed we don't see any of that here at home. But as you mentioned, it's best to be prepared in the instance that we do see tropical cyclones, maybe even a hurricane at some point this season.
That's right. And so all of our chief meteorologists from the gray stations here in Mississippi Mississippi. They all had a part to play in it.
Yes.
We're going to play you guys a promo for it to tell you about it, but that is airing tomorrow night at 7. Is that right?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. So make sure you tune in to WLBT tomorrow night at 7 so that you can make sure that you and your family are prepared for hurricane season. And of course, prepare for any storms by downloading our First Alert weather app. So I'm going to jump into that promo so you guys can see it. Peyton, thank you so much for coming in and letting us know what to expect.
2024 could be one of the most active hurricane seasons on record. First Alert meteorologists at Gray Television's powerful network of Mississippi stations are working together to help you prepare. See this 1-hour First Alert weather special, Hurricane Season 2024. Prepare Mississippi, the information you need to know to keep you safe this hurricane season. Friday at 7 p.m. on WLBT3. On Your Side, sponsored by Recon Restoration and Rankin County Custom Roofing and Construction, 2024.
So that is playing Friday night on WLBT, and you can watch it at 7 o'clock. Make sure you watch it, get all the information that you need on being prepared for the hurricane season that is beginning on that Saturday. We will have Dave here, our chief meteorologist here at WLBT, and then Deidre at my former station, WTOK, over in Meridian, and the rest of our chief meteorologists from WLOX down on the coast, and from WDAM in Hattiesburg. So you don't want to miss it. Again, that's this Friday night at 7 o'clock right here at WLBT. So now we are going to jump in to giving you an update on the Goon Squad. What has happened since the story broke yesterday about the WhatsApp messages. We have the entire statement from the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, as well as information on a new federal case that was just announced yesterday against one of the Goon Squad members that is currently in jail. So, we told you yesterday about the investigation that happened between Mississippi Today and the New York Times about the WhatsApp messages that were released that happened between not only the Goon Squad at the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, but also supervisors were included in this text message thread. There were other deputies that were included in this thread, and some of them are even still employed at the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. So the messages included everything from vacation photos to how they could turn their work into a game. So the men decided that an arrest would be worth 1 point. So this exchange, which I'm going to pull it up here on the camera for you guys so you can see the video of it. So the exchange where a deputy, Cody Grogan, who is no longer with the department, asked how many points a shootout is. Now they're serving a 17.5-year federal prison sentence. The shift's former supervisor, Jeffrey Middleton, replied, "Well, it depends on if they die or not." Deputy Luke Stickman and Cody Grogan write back, "They'll die." Deputy Jeremiah Jordan, who replied laughing in the text chain, has since been promoted to a lieutenant. And the Rankin County NAACP president believes that this is going to lead to more of the Goon Squad being held accountable.
Evidence, and there'll be more coming out, I'm sure. I'm praying that people will let go of their fear and will come forward, because no one can tell your story like you can.
And that is so true. So the Rankin County Sheriff's Department did issue a response to the New York Times and Mississippi Today story on these text message threads. And the entire statement is on our website. You can go check that out, WLBT.com. But I'm going to read you what the statement is, or what the statement is that they made. It says, neither the Rankin County Sheriff's Department nor Sheriff Brian Bailey, knew of the existence of a quote, a shift of officers who called themselves the Goon Squad, end quote, until a bill of information was filed in federal court on or around July 31st of 2023. It was also around this time that we learned that the 5 former deputies coordinated their criminal activity via private text messaging, presumably in an attempt to avoid detection by this department and Sheriff Bailey. Our response to this information was swift and direct, and as we prohibited electronic communications between 3 or more deputies unless it is monitored by a supervisor, and prohibited the creation or use of special groups or insignia without written authorization of the sheriff or undersheriff. So within this first paragraph from the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, they're saying that Sheriff Brian Bailey had no idea of the existence of a, quote, shift of officers who called themselves the Goon Squad, end quote, and that when they discovered the charges against the Goon Squad, that they made a swift action in also the discovery of the text messages as far as punishment, that's my word, that is not their word, but that's the getting in trouble at work. Basically, for some reason, the correct word is not coming to my brain right now. But it says that the WhatsApp text message thread was not allowed. Any text message thread is not allowed between 3 or more deputies unless monitored by a supervisor, and it has to have the written authorization of the sheriff or undersheriff to be able to use the insignia of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. So the statement goes on to say, New York Times reporting on a WhatsApp group chat is believed to contain information from a former deputy's private cell phone. Since we cannot compel any employee to turn over his/her private cell phone data, we have requested the full private text message thread from a New York Times for use in an internal review and analysis, but have not received this data to date. What data has been released to us makes clear that the, quote, Goon Squad, end quote, moniker and or any criminal activity by former deputies was purposefully hidden from this department and Sheriff Bailey. So again, they're saying Sheriff Bailey had no idea about this, had no idea about the Goon Squad and their crimes that they were committing against citizens, and also that they had no idea because they're saying that they created this on WhatsApp to hide it from them on purpose. The statement goes on to say, according to data released to us, there are 3 individuals who remain employed with the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. It says with this department, that were added to this private group by a former deputy, and none are alleged to have violated someone's constitutional rights or committed any criminal act. In an ongoing effort to ensure that only employees with exemplary mental, emotional, and physical character remain with this department, we have conducted an internal analysis of the actions of our current employees. This includes a review of a body-worn camera, our audio/video for use of force, and comprehensive investigations into all complaints filed against employees. Based on this analysis, we are confident that the actions of our current employees are and will remain proper as they serve the citizens of Rankin County. So in a nutshell, the statement is saying that Sheriff Brian Bailey had no idea about the Goon Squad, had no idea about the WhatsApp group chat, and that there are currently 3 members of this WhatsApp group chat that are still employed at the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. It does say that they are not there's no one is alleging that these three sheriff deputies have violated someone's constitutional rights or committed any criminal act. So we will just have to watch and see. They are going to do an internal investigation and analysis once they receive the WhatsApp chat thread from the New York Times. They have requested that information from them, but that's where we're at right now. So Alicia Taylor on our Facebook page, she says that they are lying, they knew, and that Brian knew too. You know, they are claiming that they didn't, and we can't say one way or the other. We know what they're saying, what they are claiming. Did he or did he not? That will remain to be seen. Hopefully, you know, there's a part of you that would say, hopefully he did not know, but then there's also a part that says, shouldn't the leadership know? There were supervisors in that chat thread. Shouldn't they have reported it? Some of the other officers or deputies who were in that chat thread who maybe weren't participating in the vile messages that were coming across from these other deputies, especially the ones that were the member of the Goon Squad. But shouldn't these other officers, do they have an obligation to report this type of activity to their supervisors? And if their supervisors are in there and not, reprimanding these officers for these texts, don't they have an obligation to report it to someone higher up? That is I guess that will be a matter of opinion, a matter of what the Rankin County Sheriff's Department protocols are, what their rules are, and things like that. But it does make you stop and ask those questions. Now, going to where we also found out about yesterday in a 3 on Your Side exclusive that one of the Goon Squad members is facing a new federal lawsuit. So the new federal lawsuit claims that 6 unnamed Rankin County deputies beat a man for nearly an hour, all under the direction of a convicted former chief investigator, Brett McAlpin. So the lawsuit claims, and let me get this pulled up for you guys. There's a lot of stuff to have to go through here. So the lawsuit claims that those deputies used excessive force against the one who has filed the lawsuit against them. So they were beating him while he was being held at the Rankin County Detention Center in May of 2021. The complainant alleges that McAlpin and other former Sheriff's Department employee Ricky Davis interrogated him for about 45 minutes about drugs and gangs, and then they beat him. He was dragged by officers to another area where 6 unknown officers or trustees beat him, breaking several of his ribs. So his attorney, Trent Walker, says that these deputies violated his 8th and 14th Amendment rights. So this is a whole new federal lawsuit that has been put out there, and the Sheriff's Department, as of yesterday, said that they were not aware of this new lawsuit. So they are, and we are waiting to hear from them regarding this new federal lawsuit that has come out. So that is the latest information that we have on the Goon Squad. Of course, if you tune in to our newscast at tonight, starting at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:35, we have 6 o'clock. You can tune into all of those and get an update on this information. Now, there's something else that I want to add, and this is kind of a good news story, something that is happening here in the city of Jackson from the Jackson Police Department. And Joseph Wade is along with community partners, announced a summer youth program and asking for donations for their summer youth program. So Hinds County Children's Coalition and the state chapter of Families as Allies are donating $1,000 to sponsor registration for 40 kids in this summer youth program. Chief Wade says that programs like these are a way to keep children involved in their community and out of trouble. He also said that it's a great way to encourage positive relationship with law enforcement. We're going to play a clip from Chief Wade right here.
When I'm in Walmart, I see this poor, terrified kid being drugged to me. Hey, that's the police. He's going to get you. I am not the boogeyman. I'm the chief of police. And when that kid is in trouble, he needs to know that law enforcement is there to help, save, and get them back safely to their family. We have so many kids that are horrified and terrified of law enforcement. We want to break that glass ceiling this summer.
So one of their first summer programs starts on June the 10th. Now, I know we talk a lot about and have told you a lot about what has happened with the Goon Squad and the horrible things that they have done and the especially with the text messages that have come out. And it can be really easy to allow yourself or to allow your children to become scared of the of police and of law enforcement. But Joseph Wade, Chief Wade here, he is exactly right when he says that we don't need to instill that fear in our children of the police. Need to not only have the police there that are there to help, but also let our children and let the younger ones believe that they are there to help and show them good examples of law enforcement who are doing things right. When a long time ago, when I was a stay-at-home mom, it was Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and so when I lived in Lauderdale County. And I say this was a very long time ago because it's been a long time since I was a stay-at-home mom. But I took my daughters and we baked cookies and we took them to the police department over in Meridian and also to the sheriff's department. And this was when Sheriff Billy Solly was the sheriff of Lauderdale County. Of course, he was a sheriff of Lauderdale County for many, many, many years. But Sheriff Solly took the time to come out of his office and come and thank my daughters for the cookies. My kids also colored some pictures for him. I thanked them for that. But one thing that touched me with this and made me trust Sheriff Solly so much and want to instill a trust of all law enforcement in my kids. Was Sheriff Solly was talking to him and he said to my daughter, my middle daughter, he said, if you ever get in trouble, if you ever get away from your mom or your dad and you are scared or you are lost or you're in trouble, look for someone with a badge. And he pointed to his badge. He said, look for someone with the badge and they will be there. They will be able to help you. Couple of months later, we are in Birmingham at the Children's Science Museum. It is about 4 stories, great place, but it is a huge facility. And my middle daughter got separated from us. And she remembered what she was told about looking for the badge because the people with the badge are the ones that can help you. And that's exactly what she did. She looked for a badge. She found the security guard. And it was just a few minutes that she was reunited with us, but it was a terrifying few minutes. My daughter is gone. I can't find her. And there's 4 stories here, but she looked for the badge and she looked for the person with the badge and went to them and they were able to help her. And we need to try to find those good helpers with the badges on and let our kids know that the police aren't there to get you or to get you in trouble. Show them some good examples of officers. And I hope that this summer youth program can do that with some of the kids in our area, not just in Jackson, but all over. So that's just like a little story that, when he says, he's in Walmart and he sees these terrified kids being pulled to him saying, hey, that's the police, he's going to get you. It just immediately, I thought of the time where that the sheriff talked to my daughter, and she was able to not get lost because of what he said. And so I hope that this does help to break the glass ceiling, as he put it, this summer. Lots of stuff happening in our area, and we're going to keep you updated on all of it as far as weather goes, breaking news, anything like that. You guys can definitely get those updates on our website, WLBT.com. You can get those notifications through your phone if you download the WLBT News app and our weather app, the First Alert Weather Team app. Don't forget also to tune in on a Friday night, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, to see the Hurricane Preparedness Special. That was a group effort from all of the Gray TV stations in Mississippi. It's going to be extremely informative, something you need to see and hear. And it's never too early to prepare. Remember that. I appreciate you staying with me here on WLBT Plus, and I will be back tomorrow at 1. You guys have a great day. Bye.